Good Tuesday evening, folks. Chief Meteorologist Tim Pandajis here with you. I wanted to give you an update here on our cold front that's currently progressing from the northwest to the southeast across Hampton Roads and northeastern North Carolina. Let's go over to radar and show you there's not a whole lot going on out there. When we joined you a couple hours ago, we were concerned with this last cluster of thunderstorms that was emerging out of the Raleigh-Durham area across 95. Had a pretty good potency with them, and then it really started to fall apart. Now, what we're left with down here by Edenton is still a modestly strong thunderstorm at the moment with some thunder and lightning just north of Skinnersville over Edenton. Very heavy rainfall as well, but that's pretty much the last of it. You can see it was much more intense just an hour or so ago as we go and approach the 7 o'clock hour, as it was well off to the west and then it's building over. So it's still got a little bit of a kick to it, but mostly has fallen apart. Now, off to the north, we're just looking at some showers now, some light to moderate showers as you get over towards Moyock and over towards Gregory, just to the north of you there, stretching north of the state line into Chesapeake and pretty much straddling the city line between Chesapeake and Virginia Beach. And that's really the extent of what we're seeing out there now. Now, temperatures with the rain that we saw has come down a bit. We saw air temperatures today max out in the mid-80s in many locations. The rain-cooled air, as well as the passage of the front, has dropped temperatures down into the 60s in a lot of areas, however, not everywhere. Notice down to the south in portions like Elizabeth City, Currituck, Edenton, still in the upper 70s. Now, even though temperatures have come down, we still have a significant amount of moisture available in the atmosphere, high dew points. Dew point at 70 right now down at Edenton, 64 in Elizabeth City. So although our severe threat has come down significantly for areas to the north, we are still technically under a level 1 out of a 5-tiered threat category system with the Storm Prediction Center. And I think we still have a small risk down in northeastern North Carolina for the next couple of hours as the front continues to push on through there. And that's where we're seeing the extent of those stronger storms, even though all of which are currently at this time non-severe. You can see them kind of straddling along that a boundary that's setting up pretty much on the north shore of the Albemarle Sound off to the south and west there. And these storms are pretty much riding along those over the last couple of hours. Now, how much rain have we seen, in the last few hours? I mean, not a ton. Looking at areas just around Edenton, actually, right here, we can see some of these numbers just offshore there, 1.5 inches. And this is over the last few hours. So that's some beneficial rainfall there. But notice a lot of, in fact, most of northeastern North Carolina hasn't picked up much at all. We're looking at rainfall deficits across most of the area that we could use this rain, not seeing much of it there. We had our only severe thunderstorm earlier that moved just south of Franklin and straddled the state line there. Some of these totals, let's see if we put some numbers on here. An inch to 1.5 inches. Pretty much along this entire line north of Whaleyville. So that was some beneficial rainfall for those areas. We did have a few storm reports of wind damage and also some large hail with that severe thunderstorm warning earlier. Storm reports, there we go. So some of these hail reports coming in 1-inch diameter hail near Whaleyville, just around 6:15 at night. And we had another one here near Cleopas of 1-inch diameter hail there as well. And then a wind report, wind damage right along the state line there in Somerton. Trees downed along Pittman Town Road. Radar estimated winds estimated to be around 55 to 60 miles per hour. So there was some damage, although it was very, very isolated. You see those are the only storm reports over the entire area. And our only threat really of any more damage would come from maybe potentially these cells. With some stronger wind gusts and some small hail. In fact, let's see if there has even been a history of any hail. In fact, yeah, there's a little bit over the Albemarle here. You can see there's a signature there of some very small hail of up to maybe 1/2 inch. It doesn't really account for melting, but may make it up to a pea size or dime size. But again, it's over the open water of the Albemarle there, so not being very impactful, thankfully. But we go back in time. Kind of show you what happened here earlier was that those cells. Let me back it up a little bit so we can see the transition of it. Let's go back here. You have to go really far west to see any indication of a hail signature. So the hail threat has really dropped off over the last couple of hours. So let's once again look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook. So the level 1 threat And really, it's going to be the threat for winds, which is the lowest hashed area, 5% risk of damaging wind gusts of 55 to 60 miles per hour, and also still has the modest hail potential. Unusual to really see large hail in this area. We did see that one cell that was producing up to golf ball sized hail earlier as it rolled on through the area. But this is the latest pretty much on this line of showers and storms coming on through. The broader picture shows it's a very disorganized, very ragged looking front. Okay, it's not very powerful. We will drop our temperature significantly tomorrow, but the front itself will stall out likely south of the Albemarle. So areas in central and southern Outer Banks tomorrow probably still carrying a rain risk for a good chunk of the day. Areas to the north will see things clear out rather quickly by mid to late morning. So here's Futurecast starting things out now. It's close to initializing quite well, and that's one thing. These models have had a tough time initializing the current environment. So if they don't initialize all that well, then their forecast tends to be, off a little bit as you go farther out in time. But this is a little bit closer than it was earlier. So here's how it projects things going as we get into the first half of the overnight and getting just past midnight. Still some isolated showers out there, maybe a heavier downpour, probably a little bit overdone here. Another batch or cluster of some widespread showers just ahead of dawn tomorrow morning. And then everything pushes offshore likely by daybreak, and we begin to shift our winds and draw in some cooler air. But once again, revisiting the severe storm threat at a level 1 through the rest of the night tonight. Main threat's going to be the damaging wind gusts and hail. We've kept that pretty much at low scale in terms of the threat categories there. And also tornado and street flooding can never be zero, but it is also very, very low. Rain chances the next 12 hours based off of that modeling you just saw there. Anywhere between 20 and 60% chance of running into a few showers overnight tonight. I want to take you through the longer range Futurecast here. Let me see if I can find it and show you just kind of how much cooler we get behind this system after it pushes off to the south and east. So here we are. We'll progress through 10 o'clock. We've got a cluster of showers and storms like you saw off and out of here by daybreak. But 8 o'clock, everything to our east. By early afternoon, here we go. We got the northeast wind setting up tomorrow, okay? So this time of year, water temperatures in the Bay and in the Atlantic, mid to upper 50s. So when we get a wind coming off those waters, an onshore flow out of the north and east, like is projected to happen tomorrow, it's another one of those setups where we have coastal communities being significantly cooler than what you're going to find farther inland. So tomorrow is going to be a day where along I-95, you'll have temperatures in the mid to upper 70s to near 80. And along the coast, you'll have a few spots, probably that will stay in the upper 50s to near 60, and other areas that'll be in the low to mid 60s. So a large gradient east to west thanks to that northeast onshore wind flow. Should see some increasing sunshine tomorrow afternoon as well. Now, into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, I think it's a chilly overnight for most of us. We'll see lows in the upper 40s and low 50s still with the ongoing northeast wind that'll start to turn more easterly and then eventually southeasterly by Thursday afternoon. And that should boost temperatures back into the mid-70s. Thursday, good day. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny. Comfortable temperatures in the afternoon as well. Overnight into early Friday, similar. We'll see temperatures in the low to mid-50s. Friday's another day where we've got some sunshine to start. Increasing clouds, I think, later in the day. And there's those southeast winds that'll probably push temperatures a little bit closer to that 80-degree mark before our chances for rain do start to go up a little bit more with another approaching cold front that'll get here for the weekend. So here's a look at tomorrow's forecast. We've got an early shower chance. We're in the upper 60s, much cooler than today. We hit 85 out at Norfolk. Tomorrow will be 17 degrees cooler. And if you're still suffering from seasonal allergies tomorrow, unfortunately, with not much rain out there tonight, high tree pollen values once again. We'll see oak, sweet gum, and sycamore high values, and even grass pollen. We're a little ahead of time for the season to get going, but with our very warm April that we've had so far, yeah, we're right now 6th warmest April on record. We had 91 degrees on the 6th. That tied the earliest 90-plus degree reading in the calendar year. I think it tied it with 2010. 91 degrees then. You see all those days in red, those are days that were above normal. And when we average it all out, take all the highs and lows so far this month up through the 21st, because we haven't added in the 22nd today yet. 63 is the average temperature. That's running a departure of 4.5 degrees or so above normal. So that puts us at the 6th spot in terms of the top 10 warmest Aprils. And there's still time to climb because we've got more warmth in the forecast In terms of rainfall, not too far off where we should be, closing in on 2 inches of rain at the airport, and that's a departure of about 1/3 of an inch. And futurecast rainfall next 2 days doesn't show a whole lot. We'll have our showers out there tonight, so if you catch a shower or two, great. If not, we're just going to extend that deficit just a little bit more, anywhere from 1/2 an inch, maybe upwards of 3/4 of an inch in some locations that favors off to the south. And then look at the outlook for temperatures. Wrapping up April and heading into the first few days of May, looks like anywhere east of the Mississippi is going to be trending well above normal. And that includes us here in Hampton Roads in northeastern North Carolina. So the opportunity to climb on that top 10 warmest April list is certainly there. And there's a look at our local trend. Temperature-wise, you can really point out where the cold fronts are, okay? Saturday, we're going to peak to around 80. Front comes on through. On Sunday, we're in the 60s. We moderate temperatures for a couple days, and then we climb back into the mid-80s by the middle to end of next week. And I think we do plateau there for a little while and maintain the warmth. As you saw there, the trajectory of the outlook does favor well above normal temperatures during that time. Before we wrap things up, let's just revisit the radar right now. Any thunder and lightning, any cells that are somewhat strong are going to be down to the south. No active severe warnings, watches. This is along the boundary pretty much that's drapes to our south. And you can see a few storms there, thunder and lightning, heavy rain, but all below severe criteria in northeastern North Carolina. You put this in motion, you can kind of see where it's heading, drifting from the southwest to the east-northeast, and will pretty much be impacting the southern tip of northeastern North Carolina along the Albemarle Sound for the next couple of hours. Anywhere to the north, could get in on a few showers here and there overnight tonight, but that looks to be about the extent of our influence from this front as it continues to push to the south and east. If anything changes, not anticipating it to do so, but if it does, I'll join you back here on 13 News Now Plus or on on the air on 13 News Now. If I don't see you, we're going to be back on the air at 11 o'clock for 13 News Now at 11, myself and Dana Smith. And then we'll see you again tomorrow morning for Daybreak with Craig Moeller and Taylor Stephenson. Have a great night.